Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today,
every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet.
Babies. Who doesn't love them? Oh, not me, but that's only because I'm grown. Yeah, the only time when I liked babies was during the time when I was inside one. Wait, that's not what I meant. That sounds crazy. What I meant was when I was a literal baby myself. Like, we've all been inside babies before. Wait, that's not what I meant. When you're a baby, you don't gotta worry about nothing. Someone's already feeding you, bathing you, strolling you around on the street, cleaning the doodle out your pants. You never have any responsibilities for yourself. Being a baby is the new 80. It's awesome! And since we were babies, when we weren't sleeping or swallowing the nearest lethal object, we were playing with toys or watching the preschool shows our parents put on the TV. You know, they changed it to the children's channels. PBS, TBS, CBS, put it on the shows for us toddlers. Well, my parents didn't really do that. I would just watch whatever my siblings were watching, which was Cartoon Network and Disney Channel 99% of the time, and whatever my dad was watching. And he was not watching the most baby-friendly stuff. Like, literally, both me and my dad would fall asleep watching Friday the 13th or something on Showtime. Then at 4 a.m., I'd wake up to Showtime playing straight-up corn on the channel. Not even a scene, like, it's just a straight-up porn movie. And I just stared at it. My balls were still in my stomach, so I ain't feel nothing. But when watching it, I felt like a industry baby, if you catch my drift. In short, I ain't watched that many kid shows. But when I did, I was watching what every other baby was watching. While babies nowadays are looking at their Coco Melon, we Gen Ziggers was watching classics. Classics in the making. The children's programming from back in the day of our babyhoods were some of the greatest. Educating us kids on valuable lessons, like go brush your teeth, or don't be an ass. And I wanted to use the Wayback Machine and reminisce on the very simple times of watching baby shows, talk on how some of them were great, and how some of them were the back door to my nightmares. But I'm gonna save that for the end. I'm gonna start this off with a channel that we're all familiar with, Disney Junior. Now, I'm not going to show that much footage because Disney sucks, but I remember when this channel became a thing. Like, I was like around 8 years old enough to realize the meaning of my existence, but not old enough to have common sense, so I still needed this educational channel. But honestly, thinking about it right now, I don't think I ever watched a show to be educated before. I for real watched a lot of kids' education shows back then, and I don't think I've learned a single thing from any of them. They were teaching us stuff that we already learned at school. Why the hell I need to repeat it at them? That's why back then I barely watched kids' shows that would ask you a question and wait 20 years for you to answer. It ruins my immersion of the show. I get less and less attached to the show when they hit me with fourth wall break. You ain't supposed to know I'm here. Like, who are you talking to? And after waiting 80 years of them just staring at you, waiting for you to answer, they just assume your answer anyway. So why'd you ask me in the first place? Wasting my time. I had goals as a kid. I had stuff to do. And this show was just wasting my time. Anyway, I forgot Disney Junior. There were a few shows that I used to always watch. I remember watching Big Bear in the Big Blue House sometimes. Honestly, this show kind of scared me as a kid because the moon. It reminded me of that molester moon emoji. And that's the most I remember from the show. And I sadly wasn't a Wiggles guy either. But I heard a bunch of songs from them. And not gonna lie, they're pretty great. I've heard a bunch of songs from them. And after hearing them, I can tell you that this is one of the greatest bands of this generation. Of any generation. Every song for them makes you hype and go crazy. They're basically the Beatles if they were good. There was also Special Agent also. And really the only reason I attempted to watch this show was because Mr. Mosby was playing the wolf on the show, fulfilling my fantasies I had about him, so. But none of those shows were the main shows. The big three of my Disney Junior experience was Handy Manny, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and Little Einsteins. Not Doc Miss Stuffins. She ain't no real doctor. She can't give me my BBL. Or Sophia the First. That show's for Atlanta niggas. We all know the deal with Handy Manny. You know, Mexican dude with talking tubes that can fix anything. From a boat, to a chair, to an accident, you name it. The characters were fun too. You know, there was this guy who was a complete loser. He had no hairline. He lived with this cat. He was always the butt of the joke. Never had any bitches. Easily the most relatable character on the show. I also remember them adding this new character. It was a flashlight. He only spoke Minion. I don't remember what language he spoke. But they was adorable. Every time they were on screen, they was just like cute. like a minion. Then the main man, Manny himself, just being a helpful, handsome guy. He had a girlfriend, at least I think that was his girlfriend. He always had everybody on his back. He was such a Chad. He was such a handsome man. He's just a dandy guy. I like him. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, an automatic classic for the opening and ending songs alone. You know that song, M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-U-S-E. Oh man, it makes my balls hot. Especially that hot dog, hot diggity dog. Look at Goofy go. Do I need to say more? The only thing I remember this show messing up on was when they gave Toodles a face and a personality. And now he can talk and he can like communicate with us. I don't want this, man. He don't need to speak, bro. It's weird. Like look at him. He look creepy. Like if he could speak the whole time, then why didn't he say anything before? He's plotting something. I know it. And then there was Little Einstein. I just loved it because I'm a bit of a musician myself. You know, I can play piano, trumpet, the recorder, the triforce of instruments. And since I'm a musical genius, of course this show would appeal to someone like me. And honestly, I don't remember what they did on this show. Like they had a ship, they were talking instruments. Dang, I think that's all I remember. I just remember loving it as a kid. And that theme song, you know, that old meme. They just don't make them like that no more. But Disney Jr. was a great entertainment and education source for children back then, especially me. But it wasn't my favorite. Moving on to a channel that I liked more as a kid, in terms of baby shows, Nick Jr. Nick Jr. I have a lot more memories of as a kid, even though they had some dookie butt shows like Dora and the more boring Diego. But everything else was pretty good. Wonder Pets was pretty lit, although that turtle could go chug a bottle of piss. I still hate turtles. The Backyard Again. Everybody loved this show. And the animals, Tanisha, Pablo, Bart, Jesse, and James, I don't remember their names, but it was such a fun show. You know, the backyard was always transforming and getting new settings, like every single episode. I loved it. My favorite episodes were the jungle episode and the western episode. Max and Ruby. Now, I got mixed feelings on this. I used to watch this show a lot.
Like, I enjoyed the show as a kid, but I didn't really like Max all that much when I was young. I didn't really know any better back then. I just saw him making mud cakes and I was just like, that's gross, there's worms in it, bro. Why are you making that? It wasn't until I got older that I realized that Max was just having fun, man. He was just a young kid just having fun, playing with his toys, making cakes. He was just doing his thing. The real villain of this show, it was Ruby. I'm not gonna get too in detail because then I'll just be stealing this guy's content. Shout out to him. But let me say this.
If I was in a room with a bow and arrow, with only 2 arrows, and there was me, Ruby, I don't even care who else is there. I'm gonna shoot Ruby twice. Blue's Clues was pretty cool too. You know, I like the cat, I like the box characters. My man Steve was drawing like Picasso with just a crayon. The show was nuts until Steve left to buy some cigarettes. What does the new Steve look like again? Who the fuck is this? Peppa Pig. I didn't really watch it because it was British and
I was more of a Olivia kind of guy.
But I'll admit it, the Peppa Pig album is pretty fire. Like, unironically, it's better than Honestly Trash. And I ain't gonna forget the GOAT. Yo, Gabba Gabba. I didn't really watch it that much, but my brothers loved it, and the characters look nice. Biz Marquis is in like every episode beatboxing, and DJ Lance is so into his character in the show that he's still in his character over 10 years after the show ended. So that's dedication right there. But yeah, I ain't really watched the show as a kid. The most I got from it was that one episode from South Park where Fufa became a thought. That's the most I ever got from it. And my personal favorite Nick Jr. show was Little Bill. Now, ignoring the controversies, this show taught me so many things, like how to talk to girls, how to ask a girl out, and the secret to getting any girl. And thanks to this show, I can say these tips changed my life for the better. Because of these tips, every time I am to this topic, and in conclusion, free Bill Cosby!
It starts with one thing. I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know.